Like I said, man, I don't know why you're so angry. I don't know why you're taking this personally. It makes me a little bit confused. You're kind of talking in circles and it's a big riddle, but if you're so upset that I'm here, you're going to have to do something about it on Sunday. Win, lose, or draw, I respect you, Hangman. But remember, those roads you traveled to get here, they were paved by me. This house that you built, it was constructed with lumber from trees that I chopped down. The world you traveled to get here to create All Elite Wrestling happened because I gave you the blueprint.
Hey, this is Buck Nasty, Bucky Collins, and you're listening to Sit Down Marks.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following Sit Down Marks podcast is set for one fall. Introducing first, your heel host that is always helping to spread the good word of wrestling, Dirty Bird. Next up, the co-host from the land of the rattlesnake, Mr. Team Extreme, editor and producer, Primo. And finally, your co-host, straight out of your mama's kitchen, driver of the Grip Wagon, straight off a cliff, assistant editor and producer, AJ.
What is going on, people? It is episode number 66 of the Sit Down Marks podcast. It is the beautiful first day of June here as we are recording here. Thank you so much to TW Ward for bringing us in there. He is the voice of Memphis Wrestling. If you don't know by now, go check him out. He is one of the best in the business, and we appreciate him bringing us in each and every week. But first of all, yay, hugs. AJ is back.
Hello, I am back. I missed you fuckers last week. It was weird. Like I said, I didn't even get any cheeseburgers. I'm not going to go into that right now, but I'm happy to be back. It's better. It's much better. I feel better now. Better.
Yeah, better. Yeah, absolutely, man. Glad to have you back. We feel complete now. We are back once again, fully strong as a unit. Yeah. You know, we're like fucking, what was that toy back in the day? Like broken off. It's a whole bunch of cars, but you put it together.
It's
like
a transformer.
Or is it? It's a transformer. There you go. I was thinking like
Power Rangers.
I was thinking like Voltron or something.
Voltron, Power Rangers. Okay. Yeah, any of those would work.
Yeah. See,
anything where
okay,
it's animal related and they're also robots.
It does. Glad to have you back, brother.
Glad to be back.
Here we go. Let's thank the sponsors and everyone listening on all of those podcast platforms out there, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and many more. Or if you're listening on SportsWire online radio at Fridays at 6:15, right before the Thomas Bryce Show, and throughout the week. If you like the pod, tell a friend, tell somebody, anybody you know, tell that one wrestling buddy or friend. You know, that guy you see at the store with a DX t-shirt on, like tell that man about the Sit Down Marks podcast, or woman, or whoever they are. You know what I mean? Like, let them know about us. We really do appreciate it. So, yeah, and also on those podcast platforms that you listen to, please leave us a 5-star review, or 4-star, or 3, or 2. A review, just a review works, right, Primo?
Yeah, words would work.
Words. Yes, people love words.
Yeah. Just like, a bunch of emojis. Like, just put like a bunch of like the Easter Island
I actually don't like just seeing stars and no words. I want to know your thoughts.
Yeah. How do we suck? How are we awesome? Let us know.
Yeah.
Definitely. See, that's why I gave you guys the words, so you guys can say it better that way.
We good words.
Yeah. Like go Yelp us. Is that another way to tell people to do it?
We're a restaurant. Yes.
yes, we're restaurants.
Go leave us a review on TripAdvisor.com.
All right, Primo, let's see what the old pop of the pod, jukity box, as you like to say.
The jukity box, baby. Here we go, jukity box.
That's not it.
Primo's the #1 contender.
That's right, baby. I am the #1 contender, and don't you fucking forget it. Thank you, jukity box. But
Oh, Danhausen.
Yeah, very fitting. Very nice. Very evil.
Very nice.
I cut that song just for you guys.
Primo, I like how you mentioned that you are the #1 contender more than Dirty Bird mentions that he is the champion. That's also very fitting.
Kurt, he's probably didn't have to dust off.
He's got some dust.
Yeah. He's over there chilling, man. Like, I'm gonna have to shine him up.
I feel like he was happier at me and AJ's house.
Well, he probably got more attention. That's for sure.
Yeah,
you know, I'm busy, dude. But I mean,
how dare you neglect sweet baby Kurt?
I still feed him. Like, he's fine.
I don't think you do. I think he's neglected.
He's fine. He's fine.
I'm so hungry, Primo and AJ.
It's a symbol of excellence, and I want to keep it right here at my house. So I'm going to obliterate Primo this weekend and ruin all his dreams. So we're going to, I already told him to get comfortable. I mean, you ain't going nowhere, dude. So just hang out, chill. I'll give you some vittles. Be all right.
Vittles?
Be all right.
Did he drink Goldslager?
Vittles.
Not that I'm aware of. AJ, this day in wrestling history, man, did you like or was you mad at us last week for bringing up the match that you lost a long time ago?
Oh, your historic match.
How'd you feel about this?
I wish that would remain, lost to history. It's a blight on our family's legacy. We don't bring it up, because then it just inevitably causes, a rift between my brother and I, and then we end up fighting, and then I inevitably lose because Michael is, 3 inches taller than me and outweighs me by 50 pounds, and it's not like a fat 50 pounds. He's rare. So, moral of the story is you two got me beaten up. Okay.
Well, Joey Bag of Donuts?
So Joey Bag of Donuts struck again. He lives in fucking Texas.
Sure
and
does.
Yet I still somehow got the shit kicked out of me. So thank you very much, because I brought it up and there's a big thing and we had to break out the trampoline and it's just terrible. Terrible time. So thank you. Thanks, assholes. Appreciate it.
I have a question. The rumor is that your nickname was the Lady Crippler, right?
Lady Crippler.
Well, I think the real rumor was that when you first started wrestling, you were called the Waitress Lady Crippler. And then later on you signed with the Backyard Trampoline Federation, so you shortened it to just the Lady Crippler, right? So am I correct in assuming that these rumors are true that I read correctly?
It makes it sound like I'm going around with a crowbar and just whacking ladies in the knee with a fucking crowbar.
GTA,
just whack. Yeah. Then I scurry away. I make sure I scurry.
Tanya Harding.
Yes.
Oh, good stuff.
Just whack, and then I gotta go.
Just whack them.
Accurate. It's very accurate.
Good.
Oh, that made me laugh so fucking much.
All right.
So thank you for that.
You're welcome. I mean, we successfully failed at not attempting a AJ impression the whole time.
Right. We forgot.
We were doing the pod, right? Yeah. So at least we got that in.
Well,
right?
give me one now then. If you forgot, go ahead. I was curious to see it. Go ahead.
I honestly don't know what an AJ impression would sound like.
I don't know either. I could do an impression of myself, I guess.
Okay, so
AEW. I don't have a nasally voice. My glasses are dirty. I need to wash my glasses.
Okay, so
Like Mandor.
this day in wrestling history, things happen
In wrestling history, I washed my glasses and gotten beaten up by my brother who lives 17 hours away. That is some dedication
It is.
to settling a years and decades long feud that's still going on. Anyways, this day in wrestling history, that is June 1st, 2022. It's June. That's weird. On this day in wrestling history in 1945, that's a few days before V-Day, by the way. Dirty, you were there, you know.
Oh, yeah, I was getting ready.
Bobby Benales defeats El Santo to win the Mexican national middleweight title, beginning Benales' second reign and ending Santos' third. It's good to see wrestling still going on during World War II.
Jeez, I know, right?
It's Mexico.
Yeah, it is Mexico. They didn't have a lot going on. They were like, okay, well, we still have wrestling.
Flawless.
However, fast forward 3 years later, we have Sandor Szabo. That's Sandor Szabo, yeah. Wins the Minneapolis World Heavyweight title for the fourth time, defeating Bronco Nagurski.
Oh, yeah.
In Minneapolis, Minnesota. And then finally, we have the Green Shadow. He's terrifying. Green Shadow defeats Herb Welch for the Tennessee World Junior Heavyweight title in Nashville, Tennessee. That happened in 1948. Let's get to some real ones because there were a couple of interesting ones that I want to talk about. So in 1996, ECW had a show called Fight the Power. And this is in Pennsylvania. And then champion Shane Douglas was forced to defend his title 5 times. That's very cool. I hate Shane Douglas, but it's very cool. He defeated El Puerto Ricano, Don E. Allen, Devin Storm, and Mikey Whipwreck in consecutive matches before dropping the title to his 5th and final opponent. Guess who it was?
Mick Foley.
That would be cool. DB?
Mike Awesome.
That would also be cool. Pitbull number 2. He dropped the title to not even Pitbull number 1.
Not even number 1. Not even just Pitbull number 2.
As even in the Pitbull hierarchy, he's fucking number 2.
Yeah.
Right.
Winning the ECW. This is why this company failed. Fucking ridiculous. Pitbull number 2.
Good stuff.
What else do we have? In 2010, Wade Barrett is crowned the first winner of the NXT show. Back before it was an actual show, it was still like a reality show.
Afraid I've got some bad news.
I'm afraid. I love Wade Barrett.
I love Bad News Barrett, the whole thing.
That's one of my favorite gimmicks, like ever. David Otunga was the runner-up, with Justin Gabriel finishing 3rd.
Old PJ Black.
Yeah. And then, although I am going to mention one birthday. Happy birthday to Big Bully Busick, who was born in 1954. Also, Black Bart, born in 1948. I don't know who either of those people are, but their names made me laugh.
Black Bart was a
pirate?
NWA wrestler. No, he was like a cowboy gimmick.
So not a pirate.
No, not a pirate. No.
I'm not interested anymore.
Growing up, we had a donkey named Bart.
You had a... What?
That's a true story.
What?
A donkey.
A donkey.
Like a donkey named Bart.
Named Bart.
Yes, thank you for specifying what a donkey is.
So, did he like pull sleds and stuff for you around the farm? Like,
he failed at guarding the goats.
oh, right, yeah. So it's kind of like a pet.
Donkeys, the coyote still got him.
Did he ever bite you?
We had a couple. There was Bart, Honky.
Honky the donkey.
By the way, this is 100% true.
Oh my god, that's the greatest thing I've ever heard. Honky the donkey. Amazing.
I'll take it.
Don't put more than one donkey in the same pen.
Honky the donkey. That's what I have for this day in wrestling history.
And Honky was white. All white.
Well,
yeah, don't say.
His name's Honky. Yeesh.
All right. You ready for some headlines? That was a question.
No, I'm still thinking about Honky the Donkey
Nothing like a
fighting
good
with
news
Bart.
giggle.
I was waiting.
All right, so via WWE's Twitter, WWE and Ric Flair, have entered into a partnership on an unprecedented 2-hour documentary featuring never before revealed history about the Nature Boy.
What don't we know already?
You know, drug, sex, and alcohol.
Sure, those kind of stories.
Via WrestlingInc.com, Teddy Long, holla holla holla,
Make this a tag team match, player.
The Undertaker.
The Undertaker.
Teddy Long claims that WWE tried to make marijuana seem almost like it was heroin back in the day. Long also admitted that he did fail a couple of tests during his WWE career. My boy.
He did fail a couple of times.
Oh
my God. We need a clip of Dirty just going, I'm high as fuck right now.
So good.
I said that on one of the pods, right?
Yeah, the one you were high as fuck on.
Yeah,
Yes.
the one that you're on. I believe it was on 420.
It was on 420, correct?
Oh,
yep.
that's right. Yep.
Wyndham Rotunda, aka formerly known as Bray Wyatt, has caused quite a stir in the wrestling community with his recent Twitter activity. Not only did he change his profile picture to an upside-down moth with the Fiend's face scratched out, but he also recently tweeted, "Patience, it's almost time."
Good. I'm glad we're going to talk about this.
Stop playing with my emotions, Smokey. Get out of here.
I want him to go back to WWE so badly. I don't want him in AEW, no Impact, no NWA. Go back to WWE. Go back to the big leagues so far. I mean, because Dirty, you and I were talking about this. Like, AEW's roster is it's getting really bloated, and Bray Wyatt deserves to be immediately top of the card because he's amazing.
One of the rumors is that he'd come back at Hell in a Cell.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
I'd sign me up for that.
You remember when? Was it him and Seth Rollins that had the Hell in a Cell match?
Yeah, it was the worst thing.
And the one where they shit the bed. It wasn't really their fault, but it was. It was the production and everything, but
and the booking and
yeah.
I'm pumped for him to come back. Honestly, though, like, do we want him to come back as? Do we want him to come back as the Fiend? Do we want him to come back as Bray?
I gotta say, I loved the Bray Wyatt character way more than the Fiend, personally.
Yeah, me too. I loved Bray Wyatt.
Same. I loved him to come back in the the Hawaiian suit, the little brown brim cap, with
just the philosophical promos and
the backwater like cult leader kind of thing.
Exactly.
Awesome.
And I just thought about this a couple days ago, man. Because I was kind of thinking about Bray Wyatt coming back, and Cody Bray I'd be cool to see what kind of feud they could come up with, creative wise.
Yeah.
I could watch those two feud for months and be okay with it.
Yeah. I'm getting excited though because I'm glad he's coming back shortly.
It still cracks me up whenever
he's trolling the shit out of us.
It still cracks me up whenever they had the list of all the people that Roman Reigns has beaten since he's gotten the titles, and obviously the Fiend was on there, and Bray was like, "Take my fucking name off that list.
Take my fucking name off that list."
Yeah, that was great.
All right, our final headline for this week. This is a headline from 1988, and it reads as follows. Extra, read all about it. Exactly 1 week ago, none other than Joey Bag of Donuts defeated the Lady Crippler in the historic Punjabi Backyard Trampoline Prison match. Only one of its kind, folks. We lost him.
Oh no, I'm still here.
Oh, that's him back. He just dropped his face, so we don't have to see his face.
You fuckers. You pieces of shit. You're just gonna get my fucking ass beat again. What is wrong with you? Why do you two like
It's the same match. It's the same one. It's so historic.
But it's going to start an entire thing again. Michael's going to drive up here for 17 hours, punch me in the tooth, and then drive back home. He's going to be on the road for like 25 hours.
There's only one Punjabi Backyard Trampoline Prison match.
Hey, AJ, guess who's on the pod next week?
Joey Bag of Donuts?
You know it.
The one and the same. Well,
Joey Bag of Donuts.
that is.
Good, he can congratulate me on my new victory.
Not Michael, Joey Bag of Donuts.
Joey Bag of Donuts. He's no longer the undead one. He is Joey Bag of Donuts.
That is. Does he know he's Joey Bag of Donuts?
I don't know.
He does by now.
He's got to by now, but I kind of hope not. So it'll be a nice little surprise.
That is wrestling in the headlines for June 1st.
Joey Bag of Donuts.
Thank you, Primo, sir. In light of me missing Primo's introduction earlier, Primo is the number one contender. We got Hell in a Cell coming up this weekend. We're going to be breaking down the card later. AJ's going to be the only one doing the predictions for this. Me and Primo are staying out of this because we are picking against each other. If Primo can beat me, he takes home the trophy. A tie or loss will result in me keeping the trophy. So
I'm gonna be pissed if we have the same picks. I'm gonna be like, fuck that.
So
I'm looking forward to officiating this.
AJ's getting 2 emails with picks by Sunday at noon. Before Hell in a Cell starts, but we got a lot to talk about that, man. Especially with AEW Double Nothing results. But first, since AJ's back, it's time to bring back AJ's segment of the week.
AJ song review. Wait, he's doing song reviews now? For fuck's sake. Of the week.
I was okay until you said, "For fuck's sake."
Well, like the internet. Like the introduction suggests. I decided. Nope.
Oh God, Primo, you kill me, man.
I was fucking. Okay.
All right, here we go. Take 2. Whoop.
Take 2.
Go.
As the introduction suggested, I did do a song review this week, for fuck's sake, and it was in honor of old Jeff Hardy fan number 1 up there. Jeff Hardy, I don't know if you knew this, but he dabbles in music.
Yeah, he sure does.
And he has, I was going to listen to the whole thing, as all his oeuvre, as it were. But that's fancy for a music catalog, by the way. So I was going to listen to the whole thing, and I started with a song called Obsolete. And I was like, okay, that's enough. So it went from AJ's album review of the week to AJ's song review of the week because... Okay, I'm gonna say some nice things. This was a song. It had, verse, chorus, bridge, verse, bridge, chorus. Had some power chords in it. It was definitely a song. And my God, was it bad. So it was like if a teenager in his emo phase was a wrestler and then decided that he could join a band and write songs about raging against the machine or addiction. I don't know what this song is about. I even looked up the lyrics and I read the lyrics. I'm like, okay, this is clearly about addiction, which is a topic for Jeff Hardy to, kind of get out his demons through music. Cool. But then I was like, wait a minute. I don't know if this is someone found a thesaurus too. And, there were a couple of bits that I like. There's some nice little violin flourishes there in the beginning. That was very cool. The guitarist is adequate. His voice kind of sounds like the guy from Who sings the Down with the Sickness song?
David Draymond.
That's David Draymond?
No,
Disturbed.
Disturbed. Aaron Lewis?
No, that's David Draymond.
I thought David Draymond was from...
Aaron Lewis is from Stained.
Ah, look at me go with my early 2000s.
That's like all right up my alley.
So you probably love this song. But
I actually don't mind it. And I know what the lyrics are about, too.
Is it about addiction?
I mean, if you listen to the chorus, it's literally about whenever, if it lines up with whenever Matt Hardy was trying to render him obsolete during the deletion era of TNA, and because he was addicted to being a spot monkey.
That makes it so much better.
But
oh my God.
If it as an actual song, it may have a deeper meaning. But
there's nothing deeper about Jeff Hardy's music. However, and before you play a little clip, just know that everyone listening, you already know what this song sounds like. Before I even listen to it, I'm like, I know exactly what a Jeff Hardy song is going to sound like, and I was not disappointed.
I will say it sounds, even as a Jeff Hardy fan, I love music, so that I don't put those two things together. But
good.
I actually think I was surprised that it sounds as the way it does.
His voice was a little surprising.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. Like, his voice is different than what you would think. Apart from that, it's exactly what, I just immediately pictured him in his Willow makeup, doing so.
My skin's dying because you're under it. I'm done lying to myself for this, for all the wonder and believing that it's making me weak. I'll fade away and classify myself as obsolete.
Exactly.
I'm pissed off.
That's what Matt Hardy would say. He's going to render him obsolete.
Clever. I'm pissed off that this song is in danger of wrecking my Spotify algorithm right now. Because I listened to it 8 times. And now they're going to be like, you might like this song by Jeff Hardy. It's
I don't trust Spotify to pick songs for me.
My algorithm is pretty pristine right now because I'm a bit of a music snob, and now it's just got some fucking Jeff Hardy in there.
Keep your algorithm tight, don't you, AJ?
I do, and now it's just oh, so you like Jeff Hardy? Just you wait. Here's some Fozzy.
Yeah, I was just thinking of sprinkling some Fozzy.
So, overall review. It's fine. Whatever.
I got AJ.
It's not the worst. It's not the best. That's.
Yeah, it's not. I wasn't in pain when I was listening to it, and I did. I listened to it 8 times, maybe 9. It's not my particular.
Would I buy a ticket? Only because it's Jeff Hardy.
I mean, we're going to Fozzy only because it's Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho. Yeah. Yep.
So yes. So there you go. If you love Jeff Hardy, you're going to hate it, but whatever.
All right. It's time to talk about what we're going to talk about. We are going to talk AEW Double or Nothing reactions, of course. Primo's music class is back, so I'm about to dominate once again, so I'm feeling good today. We also kickstart our month of reviewing classic matches from the NWA, WCW, Starcade, and we begin with Starcade 83, the bloodbath that was Piper versus Valentine. 2 legends colliding here in what will be a lot of fun to talk about, I think. And lastly, we will also begin to talk WWE Hell in a Cell. Big few weeks in the 2 biggest promos in the USA right now. So a lot of things going on in wrestling. Going to be a fun pod, Primo. Let's get it, baby.
This is Levi Cooper.
Hey, this is Buck Nasty, Bucky Collins.
This is Big Beef.
What's up, bozos? This is Trevor Outlaw, and you're listening.
And
you're listening to the Sit Down Marks.
Sit Down Marks.
Sit Down Marks.
And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast with DB, Primo, and AJ.
All right, so last weekend, I went down to Cape Girardeau, Missouri for Cape Championship Wrestling, CCW. It was a really awesome time. Another promotion that is really on the way up. Got to see a lot of local guys wrestle there. Marco Stunt was on the card. I had the awesome pleasure of meeting Chris Slammer, and finally got to meet him like I said I wanted to, and got the picture with him and everything. And just really had a good time there. The fans are really cool. We saw a lot, these fans took a lot of Sit Down Marks merch home with them that night. So I was really happy to see people take some of that with them. So that was really cool. And it was just a really fun night of wrestling there. I had the pleasure of meeting Impact Wrestling star Sam Bill, who previously you guys have seen him. He was kind of under the learning tree of what's this? I'm drawing a blank right now. Zach Ryder.
There you go.
No, not Zach Ryder. His
Matt Cardona.
No, his tag team partner does the pod with him. Brian Myers.
There you go.
All right, so yes, all right. Rewind.
The most professional wrestler.
The most professional wrestler, yes. So recently, Sam Beal's on the learning tree of Brian Myers, the most professional wrestler. And so it was a really cool angle there. So, but anyway, I got to talk to him for a while. Really cool dude, man. And, ended up hanging out, man. He was really cool, nice guy. So ended up just having a blast, man. And we went ahead and decided to come back June 25th. And I'm really glad I did, because right before the end of the show, they announced that Carrion, I guess his name now. Back to Carrion, or is it back to Killer? Killer. It was Killer, right? Killer Cross. Killer. Yeah, Killer Cross and Scarlett are going to be there. He's going to be involved in a match, but they're also going to be there signing autographs, and he's going to be a part of a match as well. So June 25th, we're going to come back down there for that, man. It's going to be a big show. Yes. They say they always have big crowds there for these shows. So, man, I'm looking forward to it. AJ's going down with me this time. Really cool arena there for wrestling, man. They got a nice little spot there in Cape Girardeau. So, and then our friend Dylan will also be there as well, friend of the pod. He's been on there that is his home promotion, should I say. So, but yeah, so he's going to be on there as well. So looking forward to going back June the 25th, and we'll talk about that show later on when it gets closer. But in the immediate future, AJ and I, it's time to put up a wrestling ring again. But AJ, this time we're putting it up at a baseball stadium, man. That's pretty cool, right?
In a fucking baseball stadium. This is going to be so cool. I'm so looking forward to this. I love outdoor shows, and this one's going to be in a baseball field. Next Iron Spirit Pro show is at the Corn Crib in 2 days. So get your goddamn tickets. Chip Chop Chip. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be so cool.
Chip Chop Chip.
Chip Chop Chip. But yeah, we're building the ring and making it happen, and we'll be there, and come see us. Come see awesome wrestling, because Iron Spirit Pro shows are just knocking it out of the park left and right. So come join us and have fun.
Absolutely. Come to, you come to a baseball game, you get, we're doing 3 matches after the baseball game. Mad Dog Connolly is there, going to be there. Of course, the local legend Corn Boy is going to be there.
Corn Boy at the Corn Crib.
Yep. Also, another cool guy I always like to see is Orion Starlight, formerly known as Orion Creed. He's going to be on the card as well, and I think a few more people is going to be added on. So I think we're going to have at least a tag team match too. So possibly looking forward to that one, man. And so it's going to be fun on Friday. So come on out if you're in Normal, Illinois. I think the baseball game starts at like 5 o'clock on Friday too. So the matches will probably be somewhere around 7:30, something like that. So
right around dusk.
Your corn husk. All right, so AJ, here we go, man. We got a lot of AEW to talk about. Let's get to Dynamite, brother.
Okay. So I'm not going to talk much about Dynamite or Rampage because they were the go home shows before the pay-per-view. So just a couple of notes. There was a steel cage match between Wardlow and Shawn Spears with MJF as MJ Ref, which made me laugh a lot. It basically served as a match to get Wardlow over, hype the match up for Sunday. At one point, Wardlow got handcuffed and broke out of him, spitting in MJF's face. Just a cool segment to get Wardlow even more over. Then, what else do I want to talk about? Oh, did you guys see the promo package between Punk and Hangman? It was really well done.
Yeah.
Like, you know how WWE always puts together like the best, what's it called? Promo packages. What is wrong with my brain? This one was like WWE level.
It's what WWE does well.
Yes, it's what they do the best.
Sure.
And so this was that. It really put over their match. It saw the emotional aspect of it. Hangman is like, I'm protecting AEW from you. So on and so forth. It was awesome. And then really quickly, I want to mention the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship match between FTR and Roppongi Vice. It was a nothing match, but FTR are just fantastic baby faces.
They're just fucking rock stars, man.
Yes.
Right?
They are unbelievable.
I mean, I don't know in a way to say it right now. I mean, they're like just so over. I mean, it was never about their ring prowess. Why? It's like it was just the popularity had to come, and and it's here and it's growing, and they're just fucking rock stars, man. Love it.
It's fantastic. I love it so much, and
hell yeah,
they need a championship, an AEW Tag Team Championship match like right now.
They're over everywhere. Oh, they're starting to tease it already because I think Cash or somebody said something on Twitter about okay, enough, guys. And he posted a picture of the tag
I still love their jackets.
Oh, they're the best.
Yeah.
Their jackets and their entrance music are basically my favorite. Like their gear and entrances are fantastic.
Man, just kill 'em.
So yeah, great match. Don't care about that. Skip that. The last two Owen Hart Foundation matches, Dr. Britt Baker beat Tony Storm. Samoa Joe beat Kyle O'Reilly. And that's really all I'm going to say about Dynamite, unless you guys have something.
Only thing I want to say is Adam Cole versus Samoa Joe will be good, which ended up it was, but Jeff Cobb. Did you guys see Jeff Cobb? Former, that was always was a Cobb fan, man. I saw him a lot. I saw him a lot on the Indies and stuff, man. So. And then he was Primo, right? Wasn't he Matanza on Lucha Underground? I believe.
I believe so.
Yeah. I know he was that character. I just can't think if Matanza was his name.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. He was like the guy's like henchman or whatever. But that was all I had for Dynamite.
So I'm going to move on to Rampage really quick. There's even less that happened on Rampage than there was on
Dynamite. It was only an hour.
Yes.
Yeah.
A couple of things I do want to mention.
A couple funny things, though.
Yes. The Young Bucks versus Taylor West and John Cruz.
Yes.
Who did they come out with?
Brandon Dumas.
Fucking Gangrel.
Oh, yes.
Unbelievable.
But Brandon Dumas. Yep.
Brandon Dumas. Oh, my God. That was
cosplay of the year goes to Brandon Cutler.
Yes.
Oh, that is great. Yeah,
I love Brandon
this
Cutler
was awesome. Though. I love a good cosplay, like like a good a wrestler making fun of other wrestlers in there doing their gimmick and stuff. Man.
And the Bucks, they just.
It's funny as the Bucks are already like
hyper
the Hardys. Yeah, so it's like. All they had to do was put on their clothes.
I know. You didn't really have to change anything.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was a match, and they were the Bucks were hitting all of the Hardys, favorite moves, and got the Nick Jackson got the win with the Swanton Bomb, which is still one of my least favorite moves ever. I don't know why. And then afterwards, they beat up Gangrel.
They did.
It was It was nothing, but it was funny. Like, it was worth watching. I do also want to mention that Dante Martin, what did he do? Oh yeah, he beat Max Caster. Fuck off, Max Caster.
Yeah, his brother got hurt again. I think he's a singer now. His brother got hurt again.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, he's out again.
Yeah,
which sucks, but meh.
Yeah.
And then we do have one more Owen Hart Foundation match. It's Chris Statlander versus Ruby Soho. I was rooting for Chris Statlander because I love her, but Ruby Soho won. So
yeah, and she got booed too because this crowd was pro Brit. So
oh my
bad.
God, yes,
yeah, they were booing her. So that's always kind of funny. A good heel crowd, you know.
Yeah,
yeah.
Which will bring us to AEW Dynamite.
All right,
or not Dynamite, AEW Double or Nothing. So we're going to start with the buy-in, which was Hook and Danhausen versus Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling. What did you guys think?
It went the way that it should have, right?
Yeah. Correctly booked.
It was funny. Like it was just like it was. You're right. It was exactly what you were expecting this match to be.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is, like, because it was funny, because Danhausen was cursing the heels, and it was fucking awesome. And
right.
he was so over. Like, oh my God, like Hook is super over, but then Danhausen was so over, it was pretty amazing. So that was cool to watch. The match was funny. And afterwards, like we talked a couple of weeks ago about how we kind of want the Hook and Danhausen thing to like be, a short pairing and then they go off. I don't know though. That was pretty entertaining.
They're locking down the kids genre with those two.
Yes, they really are. And there was a nice little moment where Hook had the match won, but he allowed Danhausen to get the win, which was pretty cool.
Good.
So this pay-per-view was really strange. It had a lot of good wrestling, one classic match, and yet it was still like it's hard to explain this pay-per-view. It kicks off with Wardlow versus MJF, and it was an absolute squash match. It was 10 power bombs. MJF gets carted off on a stretcher, and the EMT put the oxygen mask on his like upper face instead of lower face, which was really funny.
Yeah.
But
trained professionals there.
Yeah, but it was an absolute squash. And I feel like that's how it should have been. One, it gets Wardlow super over and it ends the feud. And two, I think MJF's going off TV for a while. I don't know why. There's been speculation, but whatever. So that was interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting.
And then
what was it, like 10 power bombs? Was that the number?
10, yeah. He had him pinned after 5.
Yeah.
But then he picked him up again. It was like, no, let's do 5 more.
Well, he said he wanted to like break the record.
Yeah. So it was fine. Up next, we have the Hardys versus the Young Bucks. It was basically like when I was watching this, I was like, this is just the Young Hardys versus the old Hardys. And it didn't work very well. Like it was cool to see the match just because it's, the fucking Hardys versus the Young Bucks, but
sure.
I don't want to criticize the Hardys because I think they're still awesome. They can still go. They just seemed very out of step with the Young Bucks.
They definitely were a step back.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if it had anything to do with Jeff's boot being messed up or broken.
Yeah, that was a bit weird.
Yeah, it seemed like he wasn't able to perform like at full speed.
Yeah.
A little slow.
At one point, Nick Jackson slapped Brandon Cutler when he was getting cheered, so that was pretty funny. You guys have anything else for that match?
I don't. It seemed a little. I was gonna say it seemed a little off. Like I think I picked the.
We both picked the
Bucks to win.
I was surprised that the Hardys won.
I was really surprised that the Hardys won.
Yeah, so I guess but it's still a long way of story here. So
yeah. Up next, we have the TBS Championship match. That's Anna Jay versus Jade Cargill. This match was there.
Meh.
It happened.
Happens. Yeah, they just had to throw somebody in there with Jade.
Yep.
She
up
has
next,
no storyline right now.
But who ran in to make the save during that match?
Yes. I believe her name is Athena. I was hyped to see her. It's WWE's Ember Moon. Like, she made her debut. It was fucking awesome. Because I loved Ember Moon. I thought she was badass.
Me too. Yeah.
So
the top rope stunner.
Yeah. And this, because I mean, AEW gets criticized for their women's division all the time. And this gives them a big, big boost. So I was super excited to see Athena make her debut.
Yep.
That's
Nice.
fucking awesome. Up next.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I almost did too. Up next, we have the Death Triangle versus the House of Black. So this match was, again, fun. It was pretty awesome. It could have been done on Dynamite, as could a lot of these matches. But
sure.
the main thing is that, what's her name? I almost said Dewdrop.
Julia Hart.
Yeah, Julia Hart, not Dewdrop. They don't look alike.
Not at all.
Julia Hart finally turns heel, blows the black goo in Pac's face, and turns heel, joins the House of Black. Everyone knew that was going to happen for a long time.
Yeah, we knew that was coming, right?
Yep. Up next, we have the Owen Hart Foundation, the men's tournament final, Samoa Joe versus Adam Cole. Thank you. This was a very kind of a facey kind of match. I mean, Adam Cole cheated a little bit, but yeah, there was a little shenanigans there at the end, and they got Adam Cole the win. But it was still a good match, and I like that Adam Cole won instead of Samoa Joe. I think Adam Cole desperately needed something, and this gave it to him.
Yeah, I think he needed something too. And then, I'll talk about something else too a little later. But yeah, it's like he needed something but not a title to kind of be like, you know how he's always like talk about his accolades. He's in that, I'm this, I'm that. So, I'm the Owen Hart champion now. So yeah, so this kind of works.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why it doesn't though in a second.
But, not that it's an actual championship, it's more of a commemorative championship. But did you see those?
Yeah, the belts.
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to be defended or anything. Like, it's just a one-time thing, which is fine. Which I think is perfectly acceptable. Sure. I like this tournament. I think it's cool. I like that it's the Owen Hart Foundation. And then I also like that after the women's match, which is Ruby Soho versus Dr. Britt Baker. If you guys want to do your little DMD thing, go ahead.
DMD.
Thank you. And which was also fine. The face was the heel was the face. Britt Baker won. Awesome. It was great. Not the best match ever, but
right.
It was fine. Afterwards, however, when they were presenting the belts, it was actually what's her name? Martha Hart. Is that her name? Martha?
Yeah, I think it's,
okay.
Yeah.
Actually gave them the belts.
That's Dr. Martha Hart. Yeah.
Dr. Martha Hart. So that was cool.
I want to talk about this though. So now they're doing this, it's like they gave it to the happy couple of AEW, kind of.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
Let's make them these pretty shiny belts. They can take them home and put them up next to their wedding pictures and, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. That part seems a little, I don't know. I guess a little more predetermined than I wanted to see. You know what I mean? I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. But yeah, it was kind of like, okay, I know Britt can't be the champion right now, but let's put this on her. But Ruby needed that more than Britt.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean? Basically, probably anybody else in that tournament needed that more than Britt. Britt's over.
Chris Statlander.
Yeah. They lost a chance. I think they lost a chance here to build a star, to give somebody credit. Nothing against Britt. She just didn't need it.
No, she didn't.
She
You're right.
need it. Adam probably, I mean, you could argue that he could, in the long run, no, he probably didn't need it. But as of right now, AEW, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But Britt, man, come on, dude. Like, it should have been Statlander, could have been Ruby Soho, could have been, like anybody else, honestly.
Well, you mentioned the happy couple of AEW getting, a little bit of a rub. The other happy couple of AEW got absolutely shit on, and I loved it. I fucking hate Sammy Guevara and Tay Conti right now. They are so annoying. And they're not meant to be. They're just unlikable people. The only face in this match, it was the mixed 6-person tag team match. Paige Van Zant versus Scorpio Sky with Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page versus Tay Conti, Sammy Guevara, and Frankie Kazarian. Frankie Kazarian was great in this match.
Yeah,
Van Zant, what did you think of Van Zant?
Still very green.
Yeah,
stiff. She's thinking. She's still thinking. You know what I mean? Like,
I think in 2 years she's gonna be a fucking megastar. Right now she is so in her own head, and you can absolutely tell. Right. She was so great. Everything she was doing was very slow and very careful. Like, she didn't look comfortable at all. But she's gonna be huge because I love Paige Van Zandt. I think she's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Scorpio Sky got the pin on Frankie Kazarian, and so now neither he nor Guevara can ever challenge for the TNT title again. Good.
Interesting stipulation there. Yeah. Why not?
So yeah, Up next is a absolutely nothing match that had Darby Allin take on Kyle O'Reilly. This match did not need to be on the card.
It was like they had a few storyline driven matches, and everything else was just hardcore filler.
Like this, Darby Allin took the pin, which was fine because I didn't care. I was like, whatever, Darby Allin can take the pin.
Sure.
Kyle O'Reilly could have taken the pin. It wouldn't have hurt either of them, so whatever. And then we have a really good match that meant nothing because you knew the outcome. It was pretty obvious. It was Thunder Rosa versus Serena Deeb for the AEW Women's Championship match, and those two are just good. So whenever they have a match, it's going to be good. It's not necessarily the most impactful thing. It's not necessarily the most notable thing, but it's going to be awesome. And it was. So, sweet.
Agree. I'm not a Serena Deeb fan per se, but her ring work is really really good. So,
it's top notch.
Sure. So I was cool to watch that.
So at this point, I took a surprising piss break that I wasn't expecting to take during this. It was the Anarchy in the Arena match, which is, of course, Jon Moxley, Bryan Danielson, the Blackpool Combat Club, and then Santana Ortiz and Eddie Kingston against the Jericho Appreciation Society. It was just a walk and brawl. It was 20 minutes of walk and brawl. There's blood everywhere. There's a cool spot where Eddie Kingston had like a container of gas because apparently he was going to set people on fire. Just covered in blood. It made for a good visual.
Sure.
I didn't care. I was like, okay, they're just walking and brawling. Okay, they're just more walking and brawling. Okay, now they're walking and brawling. So I was like, I'm going to go pee. I'm going to go make a sandwich. I'm going to go, sit outside for 5 minutes. And then I came back in after doing all that, and they were still walking and brawling. I'm like, all right, guys, come on.
Oh, no, right. Yeah.
This just did not work for me at all. And Bryan Danielson took the loss. He passed out. Yay? I don't know. Did not work for me at all. And then we had a match that also kind of angered me, which was fine. It was the AEW Tag Team Championship match that featured Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland, who should have won the belts. Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy versus Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks.
Yeah, they were definitely the most over tag team.
And they should have, those two Absolutely. Like, I was banking on the fact that
they put on a show.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then when Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus got the pin, I was like, it's okay.
I mean, I called them retaining, but I do agree that if they would have lost it, I would have been okay with Swerve and Keith Lee.
See, I picked, or had I been on the show last week, I would have picked Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland getting the belts. Because they're over, they're awesome. Ricky Starks doesn't need it, and it's enough, Luchasaurus.
Here's my thing with Ricky Starks. Like, I'm obviously a big fan of Ricky Starks.
Me too.
Can we just do something else?
Yeah, something.
I'm just the whole FTW thing. Like, to me, it means absolute shit to me. I don't give a fuck.
I actually think it's stupid, and I think it's a detriment.
Like, get rid of that and go after a real title.
Yes.
In my opinion, no offense, Taz, but
no.
I just, he could be a great TNT champion.
He could be. Taz, that lovable yam. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Like, I've always hated that title. Ever since Taz invented it, I'm like, that's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever
You made a title because you didn't get the other title. Like,
yeah, you goddamn whiny baby.
The FTW championship, like I said, it's just wasting time on Ricky Starks right now. He could be doing other better things.
I agree.
And he's held it for so long, ever since he took it off of fucking Cage.
Is that who had it last? Fucking Cage?
Yeah.
See, I don't even know, because I just don't care.
They've kept it in their little group of 3 or 4 guys.
Like, just hand it over to Hobbs and then go get a real championship.
Yeah, go vie for the TNT belt, because that's
Ricky is gold, and he
Ricky's
would be a great
awesome.
champion of any sort.
Sure.
So that now brings us to the main event, which everyone knows, AEW World Championship match. Hangman Adam Page versus CM Punk. I'm going to say this wasn't the best match ever. It was kind of botchy.
It was very botchy.
Especially when CM Punk tried to do the buckshot lariat twice.
Oh, yep. Yeah.
And failed twice. I do like how he addressed it, though.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm never doing that shit again.
I feel like they didn't reherse.
And JR played it off. JR played it off. He's like, oh, hey, that hurt that knee. It's hurting. His knee's hurt.
Yeah. It's like, his knee's fine.
Yeah. I feel like that this match, I feel like they didn't rehearse enough. You know what I mean? Like, they just kind of went over the spots quickly in their head and it's kind of like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So the actual match was but the result is what made it classic, because CM Punk is now the AEW World Champion, as he should be, until he drops it to Darby Allin or fucking MJF or
Wardlow.
Actually, it's probably going to be Wardlow, which is going to be great. Sweet. But I think he'll have it for a little bit of time. It'll be the summer of Punk. And then he'll drop it in October, whenever their pay-per-view in October is. But it was awesome. I fucking loved it. It was emotional. I've been over Adam Page for a long time now.
Yeah.
And his title run just did not do anything. Like, it was just there, kind of. He's like a non-entity to me. I don't dislike him. I don't like him. He's just not resonating.
Sure. Yeah, I get it. When me and Primo picked Punk, I went with Page. Just thought it was just I didn't. A lot of times the belt doesn't change hands, when the first matchup. So I thought maybe they get another one out of it or two or whatever. But I mean,
contender had a gut feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I'm perfectly fine with it. Yeah, it's one of. What is he, number 5 or 6 now?
Oh, as world titles?
Jericho, Moxley, Omega,
Page, CM Punk.
Punk, yep.
I will say, I advocated for a long time for, I definitely didn't want Bryan Danielson to win because he had just gotten to the company when he was challenging for it.
Yeah.
I am okay with CM Punk winning because it was time.
Yes.
He's been in the company since August, and he's faced several singles competitors. So he's put in his dues. I think.
Yeah, and it wasn't just like squash matches, like with enhancement talent. He was
right.
Beating Wardlow, kinda. He was beating Darby Allin. He was beating actual opponent. He was beating MJF. So yeah, I think.
Here's the part about it though here's my question. What do you guys think of okay, two things happened. Number one, before the victory, obviously you had Hangman battling with himself over whether or not to bash CM Punk with the belt. He's
right. That was
do I stay Ultimate Babyface or no?
That was okay. There, 3 rapid jerk offs for me.
Yeah. Okay. And then also
Don't care.
Think about the last time Punk held the WWE Championship for that lengthy period of time, right?
Yeah.
And now you look at him, he's this older, grizzlier, gray beard. A lot more wisdom in his years now. So isn't that it's just wild, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Wrestling's crazy, man. Wrestling is crazy.
I love the decision. I love that Punk's the champion. He's the biggest star in the company. I think he should have had the belt. So that will take us through AEW Double or Nothing. Overall, not a great show.
Yeah.
Yep.
They made a good. Unfortunately, fortunate for us, unfortunate for them. They had a trend of always outdoing themselves. And this one didn't quite do that. This one was mediocre, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. And this might be the first AEW pay-per-view in a long time that you could call mediocre.
Yeah. Yeah, because all the rest of them have just been awesome top to bottom. Yeah, this one, like we said, couple hard storyline driven matches, and then everything else just thrown
and
together.
It was so long. It was like 5 hours long. Don't do that, AEW. Don't be WWE.
Right.
Stop it.
Yeah, it was close to midnight in my time when it was finished.
It was a long pay-per-view. They could have cut 4 of those matches.
Well, thank you for your coverage, sir. We appreciate it. Primo, you ready for some impact?
Yeah, I am ready for some impact.
Yeah.
You ready for this impact, brother?
Brother. Yes. Okay, so the impact. So we had Trey Miguel defeating Alex Shelley to qualify for the Slammiversary Ultimate X match. He now joins Kenny King, Mike Bailey, and of course the X Division champion, Ace Austin, King of the Night. Masha Slamovich. She earned her 10th straight victory in Impact with a win over Havoc. Havoc's no slouch.
Yeah, she nearly squashed her, though. It didn't take long.
I can't wait to see Masha Slamovich in person. I'm going to shit my pants.
Ask her if the bear was real.
Oh, it was a real bear.
Of course it was.
Don't
of course, last week you heard me mention that they were playing. They played the classic recap, I guess, or the replay of Frankie Kazarian and Chris Sabin from celebrating their 20-year celebration. Well, this week, celebrating their 20-year celebration, Frankie Kazarian made his return to Impact Wrestling and actually took on Chris Sabin. However, it ended in a no contest due to Honor No More interfering and attacking both competitors.
I was so happy to see Frankie. I don't know. He just belongs on Impact to me.
Yeah, man. He's TNA royalty. Yeah.
Sure.
Of course, he's done many other things, but he's one of the ones that built TNA.
Yeah, definitely.
And lastly, we had a 6-man tag where Violent by Design actually defeated Josh Alexander and the Briscoes in the main event.
You know what cracks me up every week? Joe Doring's facial expressions. He don't say that. He doesn't say anything. You won't be able to look past it now. Look at his facial expressions, man. They're just hilarious.
To me, he's just like, I feel like he's out of place in Violent by Design.
Right? Yeah, yeah. He should be in like a cowboy faction.
Like he just kind of fell into it, you know,
Yeah.
and then but he's in too deep. So he's like, well, this is kind of working, so we'll keep doing it.
Sure. Yeah.
And then that was all I had for Impact.
Okay.
Moving on to NWA Power. So I don't know if we didn't really talk about it, but they straight up talked about how the update on NWA World Heavyweight Champion Matt Cardona, he tore his bicep at GCW Downward Spiral on May 28th.
Oh.
However, NWA still expects him to appear at Always Ready pay-per-view on June 11th, which is 10 days from now.
That's
with a torn bicep.
Ain't that what Triple H did?
He tore his quads.
Oh yeah.
He may have torn his bicep once, but I know he tore both of his quads
in that Saudi Arabia match with Shawn Michaels.
Oh, you know what? He might have.
Yeah.
Or it was like his whole he tore it off and it was all bruised. Yeah.
Yeah, it like pulls your arm up, kind of whatever. Yeah. But yeah, oh yeah.
Colby Corino cut a promo about his match because they were having a match in the main event with Homicide, and said the junior heavyweight champion, which is Homicide, made a career off of Colby Corino's father's blood.
Huh.
Matt Vine defeated Eric Jackson, and in an interview, NWA World Women's Champion Camille talked about her match next week, which is she'll team up with Kinsey Page to face Kylan King and Missa Kate. Tom Latimer defeated Rhett Titus, and of course the main event I just spoke about, NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion Homicide returned to NWA Power to defend his Junior Heavyweight Championship, and he defeated Colby Corino.
Sweet. Missa Kate's in NWA. I got to start trying to work that into my schedule a little more there.
Yeah.
And then Thomas Latimer and Camille actually got married over the weekend. So.
Oh, really?
Yep.
How about that?
They got married the same weekend as Charlotte and.
Yeah, they sure did, didn't they? Idolo! They
All right,
sure did.
so I need to make a phone call into Charlotte and tell them they need to get to making babies because I need to see this.
Dang, you guys didn't get an invite?
We didn't get an invite. No, I need to see this lineage of Flair and
Flair and Idolo.
Yeah.
It's the nature Idolo.
The genes, man, the genetic makeup, like holy cow.
It's gonna come out wooing and doing in Hurricane Ranas.
Man, for sure. Nice. All right, you got anything else for that, Primo? NWA?
That's it for NWA and Impact.
All right, got a lot of WWE to talk about, man. So let's talk about SmackDown, Smackity Down.
Smacking it down, baby.
Was in Little Rock, Arkansas. Now, this was Nakamura and Riddle. They attacked the Usos, so they got a little Nakabro going here. You know, you don't like it? No.
So I gotta say, and this will continue into Monday Night Raw as we'll find out.
Right.
I am 0% on board with that. Like, I like Nakamura. I mean, I love Nakamura and I love Riddle. I feel like this is a rebound team.
Sure.
And because both of them lost their tag partners, and it's just a rebound thing. So I'm like, okay, no, I just don't. It's not vibing with me.
Yeah. I feel the same. I feel like, especially Riddle should have went off like, just do his own thing, like singles, for a while. Because he just come off this big hot tag team. And you know what I mean, and to like put Nakamura in Randy's place right now is kind of.
I feel like they kind of had a story lined up for Riddle, and then that story obviously isn't taking place now, so they kind of had to shuffle the cards a little bit real quick.
Right.
Unfortunately, their deck needs to be reshuffled again, but.
Yeah. So that'll keep going. Raquel gets another shot at the title, and and obviously loses again. Money in the Bank's getting moved to MGM Grand Saturday, July 2nd. It was supposed to be, I believe, at the Las Vegas Raiders Stadium or something like that, but they moved it to the MGM Grand now. And then so we see our boy. What's that?
Sorry, but
Yeah.
I was going to say, how lucky is Vegas, man? They just had Double or Nothing. You know, they're getting all this cool shit. Like, I mean, it's Vegas, so the events happen there all the time. It's just like,
yeah.
you know, I live like 40 minutes from DC, and the shows, now I will say, the frequency of the shows here for me are more than whenever I was living in small town Texas, so I'll take it.
Sure,
But
sure. Right.
It's no Vegas.
Right, yeah. Yeah, gambling capital of the world, man. You know, it's places, you know, it's why UFC's held there all the time. And, you know, they got a football team now. So, yeah, it's like, all right, we'll just move you to another arena.
I heard they're about to get a basketball team.
Oh, yeah? NBA?
Them in Seattle, yeah.
Huh. Oh, Seattle would be awesome. Seattle needs one. All right, Primo. So we going back to our boy Max Dupree.
We can't even do LA Night anymore.
I know. We can't.
Let me talk to you.
Right. Yeah, we can't do that anymore. I don't know, man. We'll leave it at that. KO announces he has a member of the bloodline on the KO show. Turns out, obviously, it's Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
KO,
I feel like this is funny to me. This whole thing's funny to me. Go ahead. You talk about it, and then I'll talk about it.
Yeah, I was just going to say that KO says that the bloodline don't care about you, Sammy. You know, kind of like breaks him down, hurts his feelings, tells him it's a joke. You know, the Usos are not his cousins.
Yeah, because Sammy calls him Oos.
Yeah, dude, just call me Oos. He's like, and then Sammy ends up shoving Kevin Owens before he gets out of the ring. So yeah, this is funny.
It is funny. It's because like, obviously we're all in on it as fans. We can see it, but and Sammy, we know he's being naive, but Kevin's just trying to be a good friend. You know, he's a true friend to Sammy, and he's like trying to tell him, like, look, man, these guys don't give a crap about you.
Right.
But Sammy's like, no, you shut up. They love, you know, I'm part of the bloodline. And then he goes and becomes the honorary Oos.
Yep. Yeah, it's funny because Sammy he's so funny like that. He can just pull it off so easily.
I also thought it was funny that Sammy, at the very beginning of the KO show, he was like, Elias Ezekiel, Elias, they're the same dudes. And KO hugged him. Right. He was like, thank you. He needed that validation.
Right. Yeah, he needed somebody else to see it. Yep. Oh, that's funny. And then last thing was is Drew McIntyre's new gimmick is he's the third surprise man in a 6-man?
Yeah, he just what he does.
Yeah, just shows up all the time as a surprise third guy. So because he was already with RK Bro and New Day before. So yeah, but anyway, that's a little bit of SmackDown, not a whole lot. So all right, so a little bit more happening here as we pick up on our way to Hell in a Cell, which is this Sunday. So we just had the Go Home Raw, which was in Des Moines, Iowa. So obviously Iowa is Seth Rollins' country. So this is Go Home Raw before Hell in a Cell this Sunday in Chicago. To start the show, all three women, Asuka, Becky, Bianca, you know, basically all come out, say that they're going to win the belts, you know, yada, yada, getting their stuff in. But the really cool part about Raw, they got everybody talking here, was Cody comes out, which, man, like, you know, I know you agree with me, Primo, but now, man, I feel like Cody's like I feel like I'm watching a star now when he comes out. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm watching a legit, you know.
So I agree. He's definitely a top guy now. And especially, it's funny that WWE's recognized him as that. Whenever he left WWE, it wasn't the case.
Sure.
So, but obviously he went out and did his thing, came back. But I will say one thing I didn't agree with, and we didn't talk about it last week because I forgot, was I laughed, and I was also kind of irritated at it. But the countdown to Cody from It was from last week. Was when they did the countdown. It's like Cody's going to be on the show at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you're watching.
Right.
I was like, okay, come on.
Right. Yeah.
But beyond that, no, yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's definitely a star.
Right. All right. So he comes out, to pump up the Hell in a Cell match this weekend with Seth. Seth comes out, says a lot of things, and they end up in a big brawl to, kind of pump up and prelude to their match this Sunday. But the main thing that got everybody talking about was this really awesome fire promo that he dropped and had a few funny choice words to say for Cody and his buddies that went to start a wrestling promotion, and now he's back, kind of deal. So if you missed this promo, Primo has gotten this for you. So here is the awesome promo that Seth cut here
for sure
on Cody.
Yeah, I'd love to enjoy.
Cody, you can wax poetic all night long about my motivation. Welcome home, Seth! But I'll make it very, very easy for you to understand. It's really quite simple. I don't like you. I don't like you, and I don't want you here. You see, I tried after WrestleMania. I tried to accept this new version of you. But every week, the pandering got worse and worse and worse. And the Cody chants got louder and louder and louder. And now all I hear in my sleep is Cody, Cody, Cody. And I can't stand it any longer. You left WWE 6 years ago because you weren't good enough. And then every single day that you were gone, you and your little friends, you tried to tear down what I was building here. And when that didn't work out so well for you, you came running back. The prodigal son returns home to fulfill his family legacy. Not on my watch, pal. You don't get to be the conquering hero in my kingdom. Oh, no, 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 no. You don't get to take a sledgehammer to the throne and then come back and try to take that throne from me. I'm going to say it again. I don't like you. I don't want you here in 6 days inside Hell in a Cell. I'm going to prey on your insecurities, and I'm not just going to change you, Cody. I'm going to end you. And then we can all finally wake up from this American nightmare.
Oh, wow. Man, that's like classic promo.
Dude,
right,
Seth is so freaking good. He's Seth freaking Rollins for a reason. He's freaking good. I like he pointed out, Cody and his little friends. He pointed out the sledgehammer to the throne. I thought that was a good call.
That was my favorite part of that promo.
I loved it. I had to capture that so we could replay it here on the pod for anybody that wasn't able to hear it. I gotta say, Seth is doing. He's been doing. Even in that promo, he says, he's been building WWE since Seth Cody was gone. But I have to agree, even in, during the pandemic and here post-pandemic, Seth is just, he is what's making the WWE go round right now. Yes. Him and Roman, they got it.
Yep. They're as AEW likes to say, pillar guys.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, they're just Seth's doing the Lord's work in wrestling right now. Like this
100%.
This motherfucker is off the chain. Wrestling, talking, character, just awesome. Yeah, just fire promo. If you didn't want to watch the match already, that right there was awesome. And I love the little stab and dig at him and the Young Bucks. That's good
I
stuff.
love it. And what's funny to me is. What, 5 years? No, wait. Well, AEW didn't exist 5 years ago, but, a few years ago, talking about any other company outside WWE was basically forbidden.
Sure.
Yeah. No other company existed outside of WWE.
Right. Yep. No. All right. So moving on, we got Alexa beat Doudrop. And then, if you guys seen it, I think Primo's seen this. Lacey Evans she did the Gentle Driver Start Your Engines at the
did you see why she wasn't there on Monday Night Raw? So last week they played they had a promotional graphic saying that she returns for her in-ring debut this week. Well, she didn't. And she was the Grand Marshal or the Pace Car driver, which one?
Grand Marshal, just for Start Your Engines.
Yeah, so she was Grand Marshal at Charlotte. Well, she partook in too many festivities, and she was not ready for Raw.
Not feeling up to it very much.
Oh, that's funny. She got hammered.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was.
So Tamina won the 24/7 title for 5 seconds, maybe. Tozawa won it, but for that 5 seconds, I thought to myself, Tamina's joining the bloodline. She's got a title. She's joining the bloodline. What would the bloodline say?
And we the ones.
That would be the fastest way to stop the bloodline right there.
Right?
You want to stop them? Throw Tamina in there.
Yep.
Bloodline done.
She lost it to Akira Tozawa, but anyway. So Nakamura, or what did you call him, AJ?
Brokamura.
Nakamura, bro. Yeah.
They beat the Usos in a non-title match, so I guess this is the new storyline. Yay.
Sure.
Okay.
Whatever.
Liv beat Rhea, and she two-sweeted with Finn and AJ afterwards. You guys still feel weird about her doing the two-sweet?
Yes. She hasn't earned it.
It's just weird, man.
It is. Yeah. Get out of here.
It's like it's kind of like, nothing against her, but it's kind of like letting the kids sitting in the front row get in the ring and too sweet with the boys.
Yeah, yeah. That's exactly what it is.
Okay, so Almost and Lashley contract signing for Hell in a Cell match ends up with Lashley spearing Almost through a table, and which that was propped up against the corner turnbuckle, trying to put a little more steam on their stuff. So that was basically Raw right there. So let's before I get to NXT, AJ, let's run over this Hell in a Cell card.
Yes.
You are going to be the only one making any predictions. Primo and I are picking against each other.
1 second. Let's go, in case you forgot.
Okay.
Primo's the #1 contender.
Don't you have like a job or something?
I do like your jingle, so get it in here before we,
it is
before you can't use it anymore.
I stole that from Ricky Starks. Yeah.
Yes, I did.
All right, Primo. AJ. Let's talk here. Kevin Owens versus Ezekiel.
I'm gonna go with Ezekiel.
Okay.
For this one, because he needs a win, and Kevin Owens can afford the loss.
How about Theory versus Mustafa Ali?
Theory. That's theory. Like, I love Mustafa, but no, Theory.
Theory needs to retain there. Okay.
Yeah.
Bobby Lashley versus Almost and MVP in what is now a handicap match.
Fuck off. I'm gonna say Lashley because I want this feud to go away, and that's how it goes away. So I'm sticking with Lashley.
How about the newly formed Judgment Day versus AJ, Finn, and Too Sweet Liv?
Judgment Day with a turn. One of them is going to turn and join Judgment
What?
Day.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? Judgment Day is turning already?
Yeah, that just turned in face. Like, it's fine. No, I'm going to say Judgment Day wins and Finn Balor joins.
Ooh,
I was going to ask, who's your pick to join?
Finn,
you think it's
Balor.
Okay.
I like it a lot.
I do too. I don't want AJ and Finn to break up, but if they
I've always liked Bad Boy Finn.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome as a heel.
Raw Women's Championship, Bianca, Asuka, Becky Lynch, thruple match.
Thruple.
Shit. This one's hard. Because I can see all three of them winning. I'm going to say Belair retains.
Okay. All right.
I want to say Asuka, but no, Belair retains.
All right. The big match in the main event. We just heard Seth talking about a Hell in a Cell match. I'm sure this will be the last one we watch, probably going home. Cody Rhodes versus Seth. Who you got, AJ?
Cody Rhodes. And
Cody Rhodes, baby.
I think this will start officially Seth Rollins' face turn. Because it'll put Cody Rhodes at 3-0 over Seth Rollins. And, yeah. Wait, is that all that's it? Those are the matches?
Those are 6 listed matches so far is all they got. Yep.
Weird. Okay, now I swear to fucking Christ, if I get all of these cards, or if all these matches right, and I'm not vying for the title, I'm going to be pissed.
Well, I'll tell you what, they'll probably add, some more, at least probably one on the pre-show, maybe one after Friday. They might do Usos and, RK Bro Kimura, or whatever you call it.
Currently, who has the IC belt?
Ricochet.
Okay, just wondering.
Yeah. He's disappeared like Nakamura. That's what they do. They put the title on you, and then you're gone.
God, that belt means nothing.
Yeah, so it's been a little while. Okay, so that is Hell in a Cell. Let's talk NXT, and then I got a In Your House card for you that we can all talk about.
Yeah.
All right, so first of all, I'm a Pretty Deadly fan. I love some Pretty Deadly. I think they're just amazing and funny and a really good tag team. They can actually wrestle. They beat Roddy and Jason Kemp, and there's some things going on between Diamond Mine, I guess, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
After that, we see Tony D'Angelo and Santos, Don't Call Me Pablo Escobar. They decide to have a 6-man tag team match at In Your House this Saturday. And they had the meeting on Santos's yacht. And so that was kind of funny. And then so they're going to have a match Saturday, and it's like whoever wins, if the family wins, which is Tony D'Angelo and his boys, then Escobar and his family has to join D'Angelo and them, and then if D'Angelo wins, his guys have to join the family. So anyway, so whoever wins the match, the other one has to join El Legado or Tony D'Angelo's family, one of the two.
I'm sorry, just real quick, I don't mean to cut you off. I was starting to say before my internet just fucked off on me that if you notice, that entire card of Hell in a Cell is all Raw matches.
Yep.
Sure is.
Every single one.
And the rumor is they're getting rid of the brand split.
Right, exactly. So what the fuck?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Solo Sikoa beat Duke Hudson. And then funny spot in the match, or in this show. So they have like a new recruit sitting there, like somebody from WWE NXT, like what's the workout place called there? The
Performance Center.
Performance Center. Thank you. And so she goes and sits down, like when the college players do when they go to pick their college, they have the hats all sitting in front of them.
Yeah.
So all the Ivy League hats are sitting there, right? And so she starts tossing them, right? I'm not going to any of these schools. And she pulls out the Andre Chase U hat, and she goes, I'm going to Andre Chase University. and it shows Andre Chase and him just sitting there like waiting. And then so he picked them. And then so they started going nuts. Man, it was pretty funny. Cue up the Waller. Get ready. Grayson Waller beat Josh Briggs.
Voila. Grayson.
Voila. Grayson Waller.
All right, and then in the main events, Nathan Fraser, who has been pretty prominent lately. He's got a pretty cool entrance there. He was beat by Cameron Grimes to the moon.
You know what I just realized?
You still never.
I don't join in any of your guys' little chants. Why is that?
That's a you thing, not an us thing.
No, because you're a 2 and we're a 1.
I hate you guys.
Cause you're the 2s and we the 1s.
I hate it.
Oh, that's why. Acknowledge. Yep. All right, so let's talk about this NXT.
That was not a bang situation.
Let's talk about this NXT In Your House card, which is going to be Saturday night before Hell in the Cell this coming week. We got Legado del Fantasma versus The Family. Loser has to join the other's family faction, whatever. I don't know. El Legado has been winning a lot lately. I'm going to go with The Family on this one. I think
Yes.
So just a quick little question. Logistics here. As the number 1 contender, are we only picking for Hell in the Cell?
Yeah, just Hell in the Cell, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I agree with you, actually. The Family. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Pretty Deadly, the NXT Tag Team Champions versus the Creed Brothers.
Creed Brothers is my pick for this one because I like the Creed Brothers.
Pretty Deadly retains.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Pretty Deadly retains too.
They do.
Not quite yet. I think the Creed Brothers have got to get out of Diamond Mine before they win the belts.
Yeah, they do.
All right, so Toxic Attraction versus Caden Carter and Katana Chance for the NXT Women's Championships, Tag Team Championships.
Toxic Attraction.
Sure. Is it Caden Catanzaro?
I love her. By the way.
They totally misspelled that, and I totally read it the way they misspelled it. There you go.
I love her so much.
How about Mandy Rose versus Wendy Chu?
Don't care.
For the NXT.
Are you even asking us this?
Wendy Chu, right. Wendy Chu. Like, I hate this gimmick. Anyway.
Don't insult me.
Yeah, no.
Cameron Grimes to
the moon. I'm looking at you, AJ.
To the moon.
Versus Carmelo Hayes for the NXT North American Championship. They've already been talking about matches. Yeah, I say retained.
Yeah, me too.
Later. Braun Breaker, main event, versus Joe Gacy for the NXT Championship.
I mean,
Walking Talking Steiner, retain.
Yeah, he's not losing to anyone anytime soon.
Nope.
Certainly not Joe Gacy.
Nope. Right there with you, brother. All right, so that's going to do it. Once again, the Kurt Angle Trophy is up for grabs this weekend. AJ will be getting the pics of those Hell in the Cell from me and Primo. I'll let you look at him, Primo, here. Just so, I mean, he ain't coming to your house, but.
And look at him. Look at that little Primo belt he has on.
He does. He does have a little Primo belt.
A little Primo belt. We need to make him new belts.
That Primo belt has survived for a long time.
Yes, it has.
All right, so that's going to do it for our recap. It's time to head over to our brand new Dropkick Discussion of the week.
Hey guys, this is Mr. Havens, the Argyle assassin himself, giving them all the shivers.
This is the one and only Mike Hartenbauer.
This is Space Jesus Billy Starks.
This is referee Dan Perch.
What's up, bozos? This is Trevor Outlaw. You can address me as yours rudely. And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast.
You guys are listening to Sit Down Marks podcast.
You're listening to Sit Down Marks podcast.
Come celebrate pro wrestling right here on the Sit Down Marks podcast.
With DB, Primo, and AJ.
With DB, Primo, and AJ.
With Primo, DB, and AJ.
And you're listening to DB, Primo, AJ here on the Sit Down Marks podcast, the best podcast for professional wrestling.
Man, I love Havens.
So good.
Yeah, he's the best. I love him so much. Him and Hartenbauer.
All right, guys. So new month, new Dropkick Discussion. Now we're on NWA WCW Starcade. Famous matches from the legendary Starcade brand pay-per-views. They were the NWA's early WrestleMania, if you will. That was their biggest card. Later on in WCW, it was kind of a little more of a tribute card, so to speak. So, but to break this one down, this first match was from Starcade 83, Roddy Piper versus Greg Valentine. I think he was only the Hammer when he was in WWE. WWE.
I looked it up. He wasn't the Hammer yet.
Wasn't the Hammer yet. Okay, so
wait, did he have his stupid shin guard? I forgot to look.
I
don't think he did.
Don't think he did. Like I don't know. I know they both had blue trunks on, so that
yes, they did.
That was weird, but yeah. So the first ever Starcade was 1983. One of the famous matches from this card was Roddy Piper versus Valentine. The main event on this card was called A Flair for the Gold. It was Ric Flair versus Harley Race, November 24th. 1983. This match between Piper and Valentine went about 16 minutes in Greensboro, North Carolina. Now, they kind of had a rivalry on and off here early in the 80s, but this match was made to peak their feud from earlier in the year when Greg Valentine used a ring bell to hit Roddy in his left ear, and he allegedly lost 75% of his hearing. And he lost the U.S. title that day to Greg Valentine, which Greg would be wearing coming into this match. Now, this match got over big time because we were still in the era, boys, of kayfabe, right? So we wasn't quite, a lot of people watching wrestling still wasn't quite sure if it was real or not, you know what I mean? Or not real, so to speak, but, a stage, you know what I mean? So, and this match kind of walked the fine line of that, of what we know as those kind of matches. But this was the first dog collar match in NWA Starcade history, which I found interesting because these guys looked like they'd been in like 10 or 15 of them already. You know what I mean? like it was just, yeah, it was pretty wild. Starcade was, this was Dusty Rhodes' idea, by the way. This was his baby. The culmination of Dusty would be Starcade 85. When he wrestled Flair there. So this was kind of his creation. Now, both these guys were intense characters, which made for an awesome match between these two. And, they told a good story. But, make no mistake, this wasn't a wrestling match at all. This was a fight. This was a gimmick match. And it was pretty wild. So before we get to the start of this match, my two favorite commentators in history called the match. So I loved it. Bob Caudle and Gordon Soley with the call. What'd you guys think up until the start of this match here, man? This was, let me tell you something. My dad was alive today, and we were talking about this match. He would say, "This is my shit." You know what I mean? This was his kind of wrestling. He loved this kind of stuff, man. So this was cool to watch this kind of stuff, man, because he loved dog collar matches and, Texas barbed wire stuff that, you know what I mean? But what'd you guys think here?
Yep. So I had about 5 notes here for the beginning. First off, they said it's not a dog collar match, but a collar match.
Sure.
Piper is from the entire country of Scotland. And Greg Valentine is only from Seattle.
Yeah.
I like how championships used to be called like the United States Heavyweight Championship or the Television Heavyweight Championship. Makes them seem more important.
Right.
The little yearbook photo transitions they did there. They were funny and they seemed kind of out of place to me.
Yes,
personally.
they were a little bit. Greg's was awkward as shit.
Yeah.
And Bob Cottle said at one point, he said, "I'm not sure how many people would be familiar with this type of chain, but it's a cow chain." And I said, smart ass Primo, excuse me. I'm not exactly sure how many people would be familiar with the chain being called a cow chain.
I mean, if it was a honky donkey chain, I'm sure you would be very familiar.
Absolutely. But yeah, that's all I had up to the beginning. This is just a bunch of the beginning stuff there. I thought it was funny. It really did make me laugh when Piper was from the whole country of Scotland.
The whole country of Scotland. So
everywhere. I'm from everywhere.
So when you first told us that we were going to be doing this match, Roddy Piper is one of my favorites of all time. Greg Valentine is one of my least favorites of all time. I've never been a Valentine fan. I think he looks like a tube worm. Like he looks like a tube worm with like a blonde mullet. And he doesn't wear knee pads. So there's nothing breaking up his tube worm stupid
his
body.
bony ass knees.
Oh my god, he's awful. He's awful to look at. And
I got bony knees too, so I can speak on those.
See, I have some lovely gams, so I can't even talk about legs and such because mine are just amazing. Yeah, I hated Greg Valentine. I love Roddy Piper, so I was conflicted going into this. The build for it, the whole thing with Roddy's ear. I thought was an interesting little tidbit. I did see that he was billed from Scotland. he's Canadian, right? He's from Canada. Right. Like how did they bill him?
He represents an entire country.
Yeah. Seriously, be him he hails from Canada. Like just give him like a continent. From the land of Russia. That's not a continent. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. But so I read about this match beforehand, and I was shocked that this was like a thing back in like 1983, and I didn't know that it was Dusty Rhodes' little doing. So I got a little more excited for this match, even though it had Greg the Tomb Worm Valentine in it.
Right. All right. So let's talk about this match and the finish here. So right off the bat, Bob Caudle says this is the most dangerous match he's ever seen. So I'm intrigued already because
that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
And then so they put the collars on around the neck, the bell rings, and we get a neck tug of war. It's like they're doing the Finn Balor picture pose, but just pulling their necks back and forth, just like Primo has on the screen right now. So both guys have blue trunks on. Why? Why?
That's literally in my notes.
Right. Like guys.
Like, why?
Are we kayfabing that much?
I put, hey, they're both wearing blue undies.
Right. So this looked to me like a tag team fallout match.
Right. They could have totally been a team.
They could. Yeah, they could. Yeah.
It was the same shade of blue.
Right. Yeah. So I'm like, man, come on. Like, you guys couldn't have at least relayed it. It's like, I would just think you go over that. You don't want to
wear red or something.
It's like they come out and and see each other in the ring. They're like, oh fuck,
It's like, damn it!
Shit. All right, so
look like fucking jobbers. But at least Roddy Piper had knee pads on.
Right.
Yeah. He was just like, well, too late to change now. We're here. So
yeah,
fuck
Greg's
you,
old
tube
school.
worm.
So, of course, they brawl to start. Piper uses the chain, and then we see Greg take over and hit the injured ear with the chain and wrapped it around Piper's face, which we'll see a lot, during this. But, so automatically he's going right to the ear that's already allegedly hurt. Piper flips the script and does the same by putting the chain around Greg's face and once again around his eyes. So they're both using the chain a lot here early. and so once again, they're using the chain, like I said, on each other, and then they both start to bleed when they both go outside the ring here, which is pretty early in the match, but they basically bled the rest of the way. So now, I'm starting to think, okay, well, this is the first, collar, dog collar, cow collar, whatever collar match. But like I said, they're being pretty inventive with it for being 1983, probably, like I said. So it's out, and with Primo telling us, also that, this was kind of Dusty's baby, it kind of makes sense because, they got, the creativity was there. You know what I mean? So it seems like he had his hand on it a lot. So, all right. So Greg goes back to Piper's ear as we see once again, the announcers tell us that Piper's equilibrium is off and that he can't stand up correctly because of Valentine hitting his ear. So, so they definitely keep us in tune that Roddy's not acting like himself. His ear is totally affecting the way he's wrestling and fighting and that kind of stuff. So Greg is really working on Piper a lot here towards kind of like middle to the end of the match, jerking on the collar and chain a lot, just basically beating him all over with Piper. Pronouns, pal.
Pronouns.
Yeah, so he's beating on Piper, and then Piper basically acting like the ropes are holding him up. Solely still telling us that his ear is affecting everything. Basically, like Roddy's going across the ring, kind of acting like he can't stand up on his own, so the ropes are basically holding him up. So, but it's funny. But Valentine continues to put pressure on Piper. We see a few elbow drops. Piper kicks out of about 2 straight pin attempts. So we start to get a little bit of life in Valentine, thinking he's going to win the match. Piper wakes up and starts to rally by pulling on the chain, and which basically whips Greg with it. And these guys are hitting each other pretty damn hard. They're basically just going back and forth on each other with the chain here. So and then another thing I found interesting, I don't know if you guys picked up on this or not. So Gordon Soley in 1983 mentions of a concussion.
Weird.
Right? It was like you didn't pick up on that?
No, I didn't even catch it.
Yeah. I'm not that old, but I remember when concussion was kind of like a forbidden type word. And in this business, I can't believe he kind of brought that up. But yeah, he brought it up. He mentions concussions, or he mentions that Roddy has to have a concussion by now.
Yeah, I mean, this is way, way, way before CTE and anything.
Sure. Yeah,
anything
before
like
they
that.
realize it causes brain damage.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. So to set up the finish, they basically got a stand-up punch battle. So they're basically just rock'em sock'em robots back and forth. But great psychology here ended in a dual count by the ref. Both guys are laid out. Piper's left ear really starting to bleed a lot. He's getting fired up, looking at the blood. He keeps putting his hand on it, looking at it. So then we get to the finish here. So Valentine takes back over control, and he's working on a top rope spot here. So he gets to the top, which gets spoiled by Piper when he pulls Valentine down off of the top ropes by the chain, which whips Greg, and then whips Greg with the chain a few more times for good measure. And then he pins Greg using the chain to wrap around his arms. Wraps him around his legs as he does the pin. That way, Greg is not able to kick out. And then 1, 2, 3. That's the finish of the match here. Obviously, Greg attacks Piper post-match, and they take the collars off and keep fighting. What was amazing to me that the collars stayed on through this whole match. You know what I mean? That was impressive in itself, right?
They sure did get them off quick.
They did get them off quick. So shout out to all the old school dog collar makers out there. Did a good job.
Made a quality product.
Yeah, but I thought, like I kind of felt like I was kind of watching a little bit of an innovation match, kind of a first time match. You know what I mean? Like I don't know when the last time the first time I watched a collar match, but it probably had to do with Pistol Pez Watley and Jimmy Boogie Woogie Man Valiant's reason why I still hate Pistol Pez Watley this day. Yeah. And you know what I mean? So these guys were two real dogs though, man, like in a fight, storytelling, you know, and not scared to try something new, man. So like that's another reason why I really enjoyed this, man. So talk to me about this match, boys.
Yeah, so I like how the beginning was a test of strength. Piper had the advantage. He was in the corner. Valentine was kind of like 3/4 across the ring, opposite corner, and you could really tell he was leaning back into that test of strength with the, pulling the chain there.
Yeah,
it was just cool. I also noticed they were both wearing blue undies.
So dumb.
At one point, Bob Caudle, he says Mortal Kombat. I say, did he just say Mortal Kombat?
Thank you.
So that's where my mind went immediately.
I noticed that you just stole one of my notes. I had a joke about that too.
I like their use of the chain. Like seriously, even in today's collar matches, I thought that they were making really great use of it. Even compared to today's matches. Obviously, in today's dog collar matches, you're going to watch this as a blueprint.
Sure.
But I thought, it being, one of the first mainstream ones, they were using it all kinds of ways, using it as through the mouth, over the eyes, using it to choke, using it as brass knucks.
Yeah.
All kinds of ways. Yeah. So Valentine, I will say, he was working the shit out of Piper's ear. Like he was fucking that ear up.
Yeah, he was. It was shoot bleeding.
Yeah,
it was bleeding like a fucking sieve. Like,
and then at one point, after Valentine has plenty of offense, Piper turns around and he just tackles him. Nothing fancy, just a good old tackle. After they finally have like a wrestling move, the suplex, they both just lay there because they're tired as fuck.
Yeah.
And then I said, because there's a point where Valentine is like choking Piper, but you can see his side right here is like exposed. And I was just like, man, Valentine's side just looks rough because you could tell he was getting whipped with the chain.
Yeah.
And then at the end there, Piper just beat the piss out of Valentine for the finish. No special moves, just a beating with the chain and using the chain as leverage for the pin. Of course, Valentine wasn't too happy after the match. He choked the hell out of Piper with the chain. I feel like the people in attendance, like the audience, were just like kind of in, almost in horror. They were watching somebody almost get hanged.
Yeah. Probably half of that crowd, 15,000 people, probably wasn't sure if it was, these guys really fighting. They probably thought they were watching a murder.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Primo, you took most of my notes, so I'll say a few things. One, I loved how they were beating the shit out of each other with the chain, but then there's like, fuck the chain. I want to hurt him with my fists. So then they just ignored the chain and they're like, we're just going to beat the fuck out of each other some more. I thought that was great. Like the storytelling in this match was, you wouldn't think there would be storytelling in a dog collar match,
right? But
it was great. And I loved the ending, how Piper just beats this, no finishing moves, no, like you said, no, nothing fancy, no sleeper hold. Just, I'm going to pummel you until you cannot respond anymore. And that's what Piper did, how they taught him in Scotland. And
in the whole country.
So then after, like, I noticed the crowd too, like after Piper gets the win and then Greg Valentine just chokes the shit out of him. One, Piper's face was like purple. It was it looks like he was actually being choked out. And then after it got like broken up, you can kind of, like, I was paying attention to the crowd because I didn't the first time, but then I went back, and it's almost like after they, Valentine let Piper go, the crowd almost went like that, and like exhale, like it was like they were sold on this match.
They were invested, yeah.
They absolutely were. So that's all I got, and then I'll tell my rest of the thoughts in the recap.
Yeah, I used to when Piper did that, where his face was so red it was almost purple. When I was like, middle school, high school years, I used to make my face do that on purpose. So I was just like, it kind of it was like I was thinking that that's what he was doing, making the blood rush to his face, so it made it look like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it just, you could also tell throughout this whole match. And it was also back in the 80s, so it's 83. Yeah. So they really are beating the shit out of each other. Like,
yeah, it was still pretty stiff back then.
Yeah,
it definitely was. All right, boys. Well, this is the first Starcade famous match we've watched. This one was from 83 on the Smelly Mark scale. Where do you see this one? Where does this one rank?
For me, I would say I'm going to give, on the Smelly Mark scale, I'll give it a 7.5. I feel like that's fair. It wasn't, they're legends, Roddy Piper and Valentine,
Sure.
And it was an innovative match, and I'm all about blood and all that shit, but
guts.
Yeah, it was just, I think a 7.5 overall. It was good. And it was definitely something that current people that want to do that dog collar match, like for instance the Brody Lee and Darby Allin, or the CM Punk and MJF, they can go back and watch that.
So, wait, Primo, did you have anything else?
That's it.
Okay, so I couldn't help but think about the MJF CM Punk dog collar match because it's the most recent one, and this holds up every bit as much because I love the CM Punk MJF match, and holy shit did I love this match too. I didn't think I was going to because it had Greg Valentine, but there was just so like the storytelling was great. It was innovative, like it's never been done before, and it's for the fact that this was like the first one and it still holds up to this day, 40 years later, is amazing. And just I loved the finish. I loved that Piper just was like, fuck this, and beat the hell out of Greg Valentine. Yeah. So that being said, on the Smelly Mark scale, I give this an 8.5. It would have been a 9, but Greg Valentine was in the match, so it loses half a point. I cannot. Yeah. I loved this. I loved it. It was awesome.
Two things I want to piggyback off that real quick. Two things. Number one, Piper and Valentine, the Chain was really the star. Like, the Chain was a third actor in the ring, And also, even in the MJF Punk match, you can see some of the same spots in that match that were in this match.
Sure. Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna fall right in the middle. I'm gonna go 8 Smelly Marks. Because it's a legendary match. It's legendary wrestlers. Like I grew up watching these kind of matches. I don't remember this match when I was little. You know what I mean? Because I was like 8 years old in '83. So I think around 10 is where I
had your boy Gordon.
Had really So it's where I really jumped in. So, but like I was totally into the match. It didn't super excite me, so that's why I kind of lean more towards an 8 than an 8.5. So, but I'm going to go 8 on that. So next week, guys, one of my favorite matches all time. This is, now we're getting into my era where I really remember these matches for whenever I was younger. So next week we're going to be covering Tully Blanchard versus Magnum TA. 2 years later, Starcade 85. Now is when I was really into this wrestling big time. This was a huge match for me. You guys might have heard of closed circuit TV from back in the day.
Yes.
Remember those? Okay. Well, this was the first time I went to closed circuit TV to watch. Me and Dad.
What was the match we covered not too long ago where Magnum was one of the announcers or commentators? I don't even recall. He was with JR.
Yeah, it was one of these older ones because, he was with JR. It was post-accident. So,
it was Flair. It was Flair and Steamboat.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
From the Chi-Town Rumble one, I believe it was. All right, so we'll be covering the famous I Quit match next week. So, go check that one out and come talk about it with us. All right, boys. Let's get back on the winning track here, can we, for God's sakes?
I really hope so.
It's time for the MMA picks. I gave you guys the week off last week. Let's bring everybody up to speed. AJ is 47-43. That record doesn't, he's had a bad few weeks. So has Primo at 11-10. So, AJ, let's talk about the main event this week, okay? Here we go. You're going to be picking heavyweights this time.
Yeah. The Bruisers.
The number 7 heavyweight, Drago Alexander Volkov. 34.
Don't even need to read the second. You don't even need to read the second guy.
I don't even read the second. All
Drago.
right, well, for everybody listening, I'll do it real quick. 34-10 from Russia, 6'7", 253 pounds. He's got an 80-inch reach and a 47.5-inch leg reach. He is going against the number 8 UFC heavyweight Biggie Boy Jairzinho. I always have trouble with that.
Rosenstruik. Yeah.
What's his first name? His first name is one I have trouble with.
Jairzinho, yeah.
There you go, yeah. He's 12-3, 6'2", 242 pounds. He's got a 78-inch reach with 41-inch leg reach.
So they're comparable, yeah.
Yeah, they're comparable. AJ has made his pick. He's going with Drago. Primo, I had you look this card, man. You want to pick the main event, or are you going?
Yeah, man. I already know. I'm going to go with the co-main. That's Dan versus Mavzar Evliov. I gotta say, Evliov, the gentleman from Russia, is the -300 favorite, and he's also 15-0. So I am going to go with Mr. Mavzar Evliov. Excuse me, it's hard to say. Nope.
Nope.
But I say he wins over Dan.
All right, there we go. So that's your picks. Let's see if the boys can get back on to the winning ways. All right, let's have some fun here. Primo, if you're ready, man, hit that game show music, man. It's time to play music class.
Are y'all ready?
No, I always
AJ,
lose,
are you ready?
I'm ready to destroy AJ.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right, boys and girls, gather around because that's right. It's Primo's music class. We are back finally after
robot voice.
Many voices. Damn it. Stand by one. Talk for a second.
Nope.
No, yeah, you figure it out.
You're still a robot person. Nope.
See, now you're just muted.
Now you're just muted, Primo. Now you're flipping off, Primo.
Yeah. Now you're giggling, Primo.
There you are.
Now I can't tell what you are.
There you are.
So, like I said, back by popular demand, we are here with Primo's music class after several weeks of delay. Dirty and AJ.
I didn't demand it. I always lose.
So, we have current standings are, we have DB with the record of 1,562-0 versus AJ at 1,978. We had to give him one because in 2022, everyone gets a participation trophy. So
I didn't recall having a victory, but I'll take it.
So, yeah, the rules. The rules of the music class are as follows. There are 5 music clips. Each with shorter intervals of time, 10, 8, 6, 4, and 2. The difficulty goes, the longer the song, the higher the difficulty. First person to shout out the song gets the point. It could be male superstar, female superstar, faction, or tag team from any era, and I will accept any iteration of the name. Right. Are you ready, Dirty Bird and AJ, for a music class?
No, I'm not. But yeah.
The chairman cometh.
Chairman cometh.
Shut up, both of you. Shut up. Shut up.
Let's go. Let's do it. I'm ready.
Yeah.
For your first round of the 10-second clip, we have the following.
Jack Swagger, baby.
You fucking turd. I even
goes to
had that.
Dirty Bird.
AJ, get on your knees.
On your knees.
God,
that's right.
I think I should get a little head start.
You need a handicap?
Yeah, a little bit.
The spot you won?
Yeah.
Well,
no, the next one, Eric, you can't. I mean, DB, you can't guess.
The next one, I will say this: the next one is a softball.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
8-second round. Here we go.
Oh, Paige, yeah.
And
AJ's like, it's on the tip of my tongue every time.
I was even gonna say Paige Hill.
The problem is you think. You just got to speak.
I know, I really do.
I know, that was your chance too. It took me a second to pull that.
I said it was a softball.
No, think too hard.
Number 3.
It's gonna get a little harder here.
Right.
6 seconds. DB gets this and wins it all, but we're still gonna finish the game.
Sure. Crash Holly. Nope.
I'm sorry?
I said Crash Holly.
AJ, would you like a second play?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Test.
That's your final answers.
Yeah.
Yes, even though.
I'm actually drawing a blank on this.
The Dudleys?
That would be the Dudley Boys.
God damn. So can I have that one? I said the Dudleys. Yeah?
That's great. Yeah, give it to him.
We'll give it to him.
Yeah.
Fuck you, I got one.
I was, if I'd have heard the fireworks.
Oh, yeah, that was.
Yeah.
I purposely took that out.
Yeah, that would have been immediate.
Yeah.
I would have got it.
This one is going to be quick. It's 4 seconds. You're going to get it. You know.
Edge.
Oh, nice.
2 and 2.
2 and 2.
2 and 2.
Could I pull an upset here?
You could pull an upset. The last one, by the way, and that was Edge. One of Edge's entrances that I love that AJ hates. That's why I put it there.
I think it's a stupid thing.
Here was our 2-second final round. Here we go.
Kane.
Goldust.
Sure was. I said Kane.
Wow! With the upset.
See, now your one is legit.
It's 2.
One is legit.
It's 2, 900 and 976. Thank you.
Oh, man.
I got dethroned.
Congratulations, AJ.
Good job, AJ.
You have finally won music class.
My one and only victory, and it was only due to a technicality because we both missed the Dudleys.
Oh, man.
Good
I'll
stuff,
take it.
man.
Not clean
Good
finish,
stuff.
whatever. Give me the fucking time.
That was fun, Primo. Thank you, sir.
I love that. I love that game.
That is awesome game. Good stuff. All right, AJ, it's time to close the show.
Well,
hang on.
I was about to press it.
I'm
I'm Dakota, and you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast.
Now.
It's time to close the show. We are live every Wednesday. Tonight we started at like 7 o'clock? I think that was my fault. My apologies.
Central Time, yes.
Central Time right here on YouTube, and then we air live every Friday before
number one
Thomas Bryce Show on SportsWire Online Radio. I believe we start at 6:15 Eastern.
I don't even know
Standard
anymore, honestly.
Time. Also, we're available on all podcast platforms. Go give us a review. If you love us, if you hate us, give us a review. Why would you be listening to us if you hate us? That doesn't make any sense.
We'll accept the haters. Couple of haters.
Couple of haters.
Now I'm one of the haters. We also have merch at tpublic.com/stores/sitdownmarks for all your t-shirt, sweatshirt, baby clothes. Needs. Go buy our stuff, and all that money that we make goes right back into the podcast, so we can keep bringing you, fun indie reviews and all the cool interviews that you love to hear.
That's right. Speaking of interviews, we got 2 announcements coming up. But first, before we get to there, Primo, give us the preview of next week.
I will give you the preview of next week, as long as I don't sound like a robot.
Nope.
Come on in, Marks. Sit down. Have a seat. Number one contender Primo wants to talk to you. June rolls on as we welcome, but not really, Undead Michael.
I believe his name is Johnny Bagga.
Otherwise known as Joey Bag of Donuts.
Joey
Back
Bagga
to discuss Hell in a Cell results and find out who will carry the Kurt Angle Trophy to SummerSlam, Primo. For the what is this? For humanity. Again, as we review God dang it. The infamous NWA I Quit match. I told you I don't read these. From Starcade 85 between the legendary heel and Four Horsemen, Tully Blanchard, and one of the most overrated faces in NWA history, Magnum TA. And lastly, Dirty will challenge our wrestling knowledge as he brings the newest game we have been playing back called, I love this game, Last Man Standing.
I'm a fan of this.
Thank you all for downloading, subscribing, giving us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars. No stars, all the words. See you next week's peeps. I don't say peeps. That was Dirty's words. Gonna be good times. Yeah, good times, man.
I just noticed that. It's gonna be good times. Yeah, good times.
Good times, man. All right, couple notes here before I'm gonna let the boys announce some announcements here. That's what you do for
announce the announcements.
Yep, you do. I want to thank CCW once again for having me down there last week in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Looking forward to being back there June 25th. AJ and I will be at the Corn Crib in Normal, Illinois tomorrow for some baseball and wrestling. Come out and bring some friends, man. It's going to be a good time there. And check us out there. And then also Iron Spirit Pro's next full show. We're only doing a couple matches after the baseball game on Friday, but the full show will be July the 16th. So, AJ, you have an announcement for us, man. We're going to be having some new guests.
Well, like Dirty said, and according to my notes right here, I'm just going to read it too since Primo did. As promised, we have a big announcement. Our next guest coming very soon is a wrestler very well known in the Midwest. He is currently the Journey Pro Champion and Rocket Pro Champion. He wrestles in other promotions like Zawa and St. Louis Anarchy, and he's in those damn Coyotes, and he's also known to his followers as Old Evil. So joining us for a very cool interview very soon is our friend Christian Rose.
Yes.
Fuck yeah, I am so excited to talk to Christian Rose.
So cool. I'm going to rock this shirt too when we
He's
Heck yeah.
awesome. I love Christian Rose. Hey, we can't wait for this one. That's correct. Notes we can. It's going to be fun picking his brain and talk wrestling. Very, very cool guy. And we are excited. I don't need to read this. These are all my sentiments. Stay tuned and we will announce the date when the interview drops. It will be soon.
All right. Yeah, that one's coming up probably like in a couple weeks. But next week, Primo, we got a guest that's going to be on the pod here with us, man. Who's coming next week?
That's true. That's true, DB. That was news here, Christian Rose. This news I have is for across the pond for all of our fans. We have exciting news on next week's pod for all of our UK fans and everyone who checks us out on SportsWire Radio each week. We're going to be talking to none other than Ethan Edwards. He is the general manager and ring announcer for Odyssey Pro Wrestling, OPW, about their upcoming show, which is Mutiny, on Saturday, June 18th. Mr. Edwards will be on to promote the card. And also, likewise, we were excited as well because two friends of the pod, RP Davies and the Cumber and Outlaw himself, Rick Marcus, are also on that same card. So we love all these guys, and we love all our fans across the pond there in the UK. So we're excited to have this interview and excited to interact with Odyssey Pro.
Yep, it's going to be fun, man. Excited to talk to him and talk about this big card coming up, man. Exciting things happening over there. So thank those guys for coming on the pod, and we'll bring that interview to you next week. So, yep, next week, guys, we're going to talk Hell in a Cell results. Tully Blanchard, Magnum TA from 1985. Last Man Standing comes back. Michael's coming back.
I told him all this.
We got Ethan. Yeah, man, I'm excited, man. We got a lot. We sure did. I know. I'm excited that you brought us all this. All right, so AJ is back. So do your job, ya hoser.
Wait, I had a voice that I was going to do. I can't remember what it was. Shit. Grab them cakes. That was Max Dupree.
Do we offer Thump underwear on our merch yet?
I believe it's called Thunderwear.
Thumperwear.
And no, we don't, because our clothing production guy is really shitting the bed.
I'll be honest, I don't know if our website sells underwear. They sell baby clothes.
Baby clothes.
We're missing out. We're missing out on a whole market there.
Yeah, let's make that happen, please.
Done.